Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is. That is just bad. All right. So if you're watching the recording, go ahead and skip ahead about a minute or so to get to the content. I am putting my link here for booking tax consults. And I'm actually getting better at it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so when you pop on, let me know who you are and where you're from so I can shout you out and say hello. Let me close out some stuff. Okay. I want to welcome you to the Daily Revision Morning Show. My name is Lysandra Everett, and I am your host. I am here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. When you tune into my show, you're going to hear about lots of topics. Right now, you're hearing mostly about tax topics because it is tax season. People have tax questions, and well, I'm just answering those questions. But normally, outside of tax season, you'll hear about lots of things. You'll hear about business, leadership, really just how to do this whole life thing better is what I'm about. But I am an enrolled agent with the IRS, and so taxes are my thing. Okay, so for the last couple of days, I've been asking people what tax questions they want answered. And one of the questions I got was about spouses and business meals, entertainment. Okay, so here's the deal. When it comes down to business, you have to be really careful because this is one of the things that people just get out of hand with. So let me tell you what you need in order to document meals and entertainment. And then I'll talk about this topic. Okay, so in order for a meal, let's call it a meal. In order for a meal, whether it's lunch or dinner, to be considered a business dinner, this is something that must be prearranged. You have to make an appointment with this person. Hey, Sylvia, you have to make an appointment, establish that ahead of time that you're going to meet with this person and that you are going to be discussing business. So that's the first thing. Do you have to discuss business the entire time? No, but you do have to discuss business, and this has to be prearranged. Documentation is crucial. It is the who, what, when, where, why, and how much did you spend, okay? You've got to have all of these things documented in order for you to be able to substantiate that this is a business meal. You do not have to necessarily show that you made a sale or anything, but you had to have had a business purpose, whether it is to ask for referrals, to demonstrate a new product, to talk about changes in your market or something like that. There has to have some business purpose. Okay, so you can't just happen to be at Olive Garden and see one of your prospects and then you guys sit down together and talk. That is not a business meal. This is something that needs to be arranged ahead of time. And why is this important? Okay, because in the event that you are audited, and this is not to scare people, but just to help you understand, in the event that you are audited, one of the things that the IRS can do is reach out to other people that they have to tell you who they're reaching out to, but they can. So if they decide to reach out to this person to say, hey, did you meet with Lysandra on this day? Was this prearranged? No, I just happened to run into Lysandra at Olive Garden and we sat down and had this conversation. So that is not a business meal. This is something that has to be prearranged, okay? That's that little tidbit that you got to know. Okay, so when it comes down to spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends attending business dinners, there has to be a business purpose, meaning that if the person that you're inviting to meet with you says, hey, I need to bring my wife along. Let's say you are a retirement planner, okay? And you want to talk about your latest retirement products. and your client says, hey, I need to bring my spouse along because this involves both of us. Okay. At that point, you can bring your significant other. Okay. Whether it's a spouse, boyfriend, or girlfriend, in order to entertain the other person while you're talking. Okay. But you don't have to, but there has to be some business purpose. Now, the other thing is that, let's say the husband and wife are partners in a business. Well, you guys sitting together talking about your business does not count as a business meal, even though you are partners. Because you are husband and wife, it does not count. Okay. Doesn't count. So when you're dealing with your business and you're dealing with your significant others, just understand that in order for you to write off that 50%, there has to be some sort of business purpose for you, for you bringing your spouse. And again, you being partners in a business does not make a business meal, because if that's the case, then every meal that you have would be a business meal, and that is just not going to fly. Again, the documentation is crucial. Now, one of the other things too, the IRS has started this thing, and I forgot when they started, that anything under $75, you do not have to keep a receipt. Keep a receipt. Why? Because with the IRS, you are guilty until you prove yourself innocent. So I don't care how many under $75 meals, entertainment things you have, keep the receipts, because you need to have this documented proof if you ever have to prove that you're doing the right thing. Documentation beats it every time. So yeah, you don't have to have a receipt under $75, but I'm telling you to keep your receipts. Okay. Keep all of them. I don't care if it's $1.35. Okay. Keep your receipts. Because now, and it doesn't matter even if you are just paying for yourself, you still get to deduct the 50%. You don't have to necessarily pay for your client. So if you're going out to meet a client, they buy their food, you buy yours, you can still write yours off. You still need to document everything, but you don't necessarily have to pay for the other person's meal. Okay. It's, and if you're trying to sell something, it's nice if you do, right? Depending on what you're trying to sell. It'd be nice if you do. Now that's something else too. I'm glad I thought about that. So there's this thing about reasonability in your meals and entertainment and how extravagant your meals are. So you really have to look at what you're selling versus what this meal is going to cost. So if you are selling a $100 product, spending $400 for a dinner, that doesn't make mathematical sense. Okay. So you really got to look at what you're selling and how extravagant the meal is, because, one of the things that the IRS does is collect data. All right. And so they're looking across your industry. And if it's customary for people in your industry to have $400 meals, you know what? Okay, that is what it is. However, if it's customary for someone, for your industry across the board to have an $80 meal and you're spending $400 a meal, the IRS is going to look at you and say, something in this is not right. So you really have to be careful about the business meals that you have and deduct, because listen, we're trying to run for-profit businesses. Okay. I know some people are like, I don't want to pay the taxes and all that stuff, but we're running a for-profit business. And if in the context of your business, your meals and entertainment are too high, that's one of the things that's going to give the IRS pause, when it comes down to looking at your return and looking at them, like I said, compared to other people in your industry. So you can deduct business meals. You got to make sure you have proper documentation. You need to make sure that, you keep your receipts. You document the who, what, when, where, why, and how much. Okay. You document all of those things. It's prearranged. But you have to also look at it in relation to your overall business. Are you spending all of this money entertaining and then you're operating at a loss? That doesn't fly with the IRS. Okay. So when it comes down to bringing a spouse or a significant other to your business meal, you've got to show the business purpose. You have to show that, I brought my husband along to meet with this other husband and be entertained while I and the other person discuss business. Okay. You've got to be able to show that. If you can't show that, it's going to be disallowed. Okay. That's just what it is in the case of an audit. Now, a lot of people think, okay, well, will the IRS ever find out? I'm not one of those people that takes those kinds of chances. So if you come to me, this is what I'm going to tell you. You got to have this documentation because the onus is on you. You have to prove yourself innocent. Okay. The IRS says you're guilty and you have to prove yourself innocent. Okay. So I really hope this helps you out when it comes down to meals and entertainment. It is a part of business. You can deduct it. You've got to have the documentation and you just got to know the rules. Okay. So listen, my link is there if you need to book a tax consult. I am accepting new clients and yeah, so that's it. Now I got to get busy because I got other stuff I got to do today. I got to finish up some returns. Yay. All right. So if you have not subscribed to my live notifications, make sure you do so you don't miss anything. All right. So thanks so much for tuning in and I will see you guys next time. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Ann. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.